lying to the American people when he says he can grow the economy at 3%. Well, we're already growing at 3.5%. And number two, remember this, Sean, they'd say he is going to crash the economy. He's going to crash the stock market if he's elected. We've seen the biggest boom in stocks right now.
They said the same thing about Reagan, that he'd lead us into the next depression.
Right.
I mean, there's the same predictable doom and gloom. Now, I try to explain this? Nobody in the media dared go over Obama's record. But he's the
worst recovery
since the 40s.
Right.
Lowest home ownership rate in 51 years. Lowest labor participation rate since the 70s. 13 million more Americans on food stamps. 8 million more in poverty.
Never doubled the debt. Growth. Not 1 year of 3% growth, and Trump's already done it.
The only president.
Yeah.
The only president. Anyway, so tell us where you think this is headed.
We got to get to 50 in the Senate. I'm worried about John McCain's health. He's a great American hero, and we're going to need him on the Senate floor to vote for this bill. Rubio is making some noise, but I think Rubio at the end of the day is going to be with us. I think we're going to have a bill signing ceremony on Thursday or Friday. I think it's going to be look, how can anybody argue against this, Sean? Can you name one single statistic with the economy that is moving in the wrong direction?
No.
I mean, every single one is pointed straight north right now. Whether it's, did you see the small index? More optimism than small businesses ever had in the last 40 years. We have fewer people signing up for unemployment insurance than 40 years. I mean, Sean, I was the senior economic advisor for Trump during it's working better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
I mean, we had lofty goals. I mean, it's amazing.
By the way,
part of it is that 22 regulations.
All these people, look at a lot of issues. He takes the handcuffs off our military. We're degrading ISIS at a rate that is even shocking the military. How many presidents promised that Jerusalem will be the capital in Israel? He's the only one that gets it done.
He's the only one. Sorry to interrupt, but this is important. He's the only one of those, 12, 14 Republicans who ran for president, and maybe with the exception of one or two others, who would have had the courage to get us out of that insane climate change deal. That I know that all the rest of them would have stayed in that, and that's been a very positive thing for the economy. I was in coal mining territory in West Virginia last week. Coal is coming back because
coal is. By the way, the second largest GDP growth in the country today is West Virginia because of coal. For that one, and Hillary was going to kill the business.
Exactly.
Here's what I want to ask: how do you answer? I look at I don't get into this national populist. I'm not a nationalist populist. I'm a conservative. I consider myself a Reagan conservative. Mm-hmm. On Supreme Court justices, on immigration, on his tax plan, on peace through strength. Tell me where he is not a Reagan conservative. Maybe trade, but even on trade, Reagan, push back countries that weren't being fair.
Maybe on trade. I always told Donald Trump when I first worked with him, the only issue I disagree with you on trade, I'm more of a free trade guy. But I do agree with him. We got to get a lot tougher with China. I'm going to make another statement for your listeners to think about. You just played that clip from John F. Kennedy. Sean, if John F. Kennedy were alive today, he would be a Republican.
Agreed. I said that many times.
He would be thrown out of the Democratic Party with those.
100%. All right, we'll continue with Steve Moore in just a minute from the Heritage Foundation. 800-941-SEAN is unnumbered. Hey.
Consistently throughout this process, I've outlined the need to increase the refundable part for the child tax credit. As it's currently structured, it's only $1,100, which means a lot of people making $35,000, $40,000, $25,000 working are not going to be able to utilize as much of the credit as they need. And so what I've asked is that $1,100 be raised. I'm reasonable about it, and I recognize that with only two of us really pushing for it hard in the Senate, our leverage is lessened. But nonetheless, it needs to be more than the $1,100.
Well, I think he'll be there. He's really been a great guy and very supportive. I think that Senator Rubio will be there, for sure. We're doing very well on the tax front. We have tremendous support. We have tremendous spirit. It'll be the largest tax cut in the history of our country. And I will say the Republican senators and congressmen and women have been incredible. So I think we will get there. It'll be in a very short period of time. It will be the greatest Christmas present that a lot of people have ever received. It'll be something special.
All right, as we continue, Steve Moore is with us, Distinguished Visiting Fellow for the Project for Economic Growth at the Heritage Foundation. All right, so let's talk about the one issue that seems to be coming up, and it seems to hit home where we live in New York. I kind of expect I'm going to pay more, and I'm going to pay more because I can't deduct my state income tax at 10%, and I'm not going to be able to deduct, local taxes that I would like to deduct. But isn't it true that red states that elect governors that are fiscally responsible, that don't even have state income taxes, haven't they artificially been floating these blue states for a long time?
There's no doubt about it. So right now, there's no way California or New York City would be able to have a 13.5% income tax rate if it weren't for the fact that you get to write off 40% of that off your federal taxes. This is going to have a couple of very positive effects. Number one, you think a lot of people are moving from New York and Connecticut, New Jersey to Florida now. Wait until we do this. The advantage of those states like, Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Nevada, New Hampshire. You're going to amazingly. Did you know in the last 10 years, a million more Americans came to Florida than left Florida. A million more Americans came to Texas than left Texas. But here's what's amazing: a million more Americans left California than came into California. That's never happened before in history.
It's
all taxes.
It's all taxes, but look at the wealth, the total net worth of people. I read a statistic in the Star Ledger in New Jersey. It is billions of dollars that have left that state. Yep. Billions. So their tax
There was one billionaire who left. It was either Connecticut or New Jersey. A year or two ago, said, I'm finally fed up with the taxes. And just by that one billionaire leaving, it put a $50 million hole in the state budget.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so, by the way, now I know why John Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen, they only buy farms. They're farmers, according to them, and their property isn't taxed at the usual rate. I don't think they're out there, with their hose or, their tractors doing any farming on a regular basis. So that seems like a loophole that a lot of people have. But for the average person, and this is important, I think, what will they expect in terms of what their tax benefit? That's all people want to know. How does it impact me? Yeah. And they deserve to know. Tell them.
The most important thing for bus drivers and school teachers and veterans and people who are not rich is we're going to give you a much more prosperous economy with far more jobs, better pay. It's been 15 years since the average middle-class person had a pay raise in this country.
Unbelievable.
It's about time.
They deserve
and this is going to create a tighter job market. And what happens when you get a tighter job market? People can look around. They have more choices. It's going to bid up wages. The main thing, and Trump said this yesterday in his speech, we believe the average worker will see a $4,000 increase in their wage and salary.
That is massive.
That's gigantic.
That's just massive. All right. Steve Moore, you're doing great work.
We're so close, Sean. We're so close.
You got to get it over the finish line, all right?
We're on that 1/2 yard line.
All right, appreciate it. 800-941-SEAN, toll-free telephone number. When we come back on this Thursday, wide open telephones, straight ahead on the Sean Hannity Show.
Stay right here for our final news roundup and information overload.
And most importantly, I never sent classified material on my email, and I never received any that was marked classified. So I'm going to let whatever this inquiry is go forward, and we'll, await the outcome of it. The State Department has confirmed what I just said to you, but I do think that if you look at the Republicans in Congress, the ones running for president, there is an unfortunate tendency to try to make partisan a tragedy in Benghazi, which I just fundamentally disagree with. I don't think it's right, and I will not participate in it. So we'll see how this all plays out, but it's not anything that people talk to me about as I travel around the country. It is never raised in my town halls. It is never raised in my other meetings with people. What difference at this point does it make?
All right, News Roundup Information Overload Hour. What we're really learning is that everything you just heard was a total and complete lie.
Sean, I don't really think that's completely fair that everything that she said is a lie. I think she's certainly made some misstatements. And as we have seen in the course of that investigation, where there were 3 emails with partial markings for classified information, and I think about 100 that were, in fact, contained classified information out of about 30,000 that were sent over to the Department of Justice for this. But what she was talking about as it related to partisanship, I think, had some ring of truth. And actually, Kevin McCarthy in 2015 said to you, and actually slipped up, saying that her poll numbers were dropping, and in some ways the Benghazi, these investigations were having the intended effect for the Republicans.
So I have to disagree with you on that, Danielle, to the fact of this. I think when we listen to this, and I'm looking at this not from a conservative liberal standpoint, I'm looking at this from a law enforcement standpoint. What I heard in that whole thing right there was lies, justice that have been obstructed, espionage with the use of the computers. She's referring to all these things, but in different lights. Misuse of government property and information, and extreme negligence. she actually talked about the reason why she had those computers and the way she was doing things was for convenience at the beginning of that soundbite. Yeah. The reality is I worked in government for 20 years. Nothing is convenient for a government worker. We don't work on convenience. We work to secure the information and do the job. And I think, while we debate whether or not Hillary Clinton or President Trump, if you're liberal or conservative and the politics of it, we're missing the criminality. And I think the same thing can be said about all these people at the head of the DOJ and the FBI.
Look, I'm going to push back a little bit. I think what's happening right now, particularly as it relates to these two, the lawyer for the FBI and the agent for the FBI, I know that there's been a lot of, blowback in conservative media about the content of some of these text messages. And I'm actually interested, because you were in the New York office of the FBI, interested in your thoughts on what these people thought, but also the tendency for FBI agents to be conservative, like we find in law enforcement, that FBI, Border Patrol, DHS, a lot of times you do see a larger proportion of Republicans. It's, if you're a liberal, you're going to go and work for the Environmental Protection Agency. So I think there are some real issues here, and if there were people within the agency who were setting the president up, we need to find out about that. But I think we do need to be a little bit careful, because these are, people who work, across administrations and through administrations, and typically these guys tend to be Republican.
But see, that is the problem there. When you're absolutely right, they work in administrations and through administrations.
Right.
But
yeah.
the people on the ground, we don't do that. That's not how we work. The reality is the people on the ground serve the Constitution and the American people for a career. The people at the top, what they're doing is they're ladder climbing. Once they get to the senior executive level, they basically are working for whoever is in charge. But in this case, what differentiates this is that there's literally, I think, plenty of proof that a group of people at the top are working together and had worked together last year to, as Strzok, or however you say the guy's name, Strzok.
It's Peter Strzok. It's Peter Strzok. I'll help you out. By the way, what's the insurance policy, Jonathan, if not they have a plan to screw the president that they hate so much?
And you know what that's called? That's called interference. Just like they keep accusing the Russians and Trump of being involved with. Sean, I believe from an investigative standpoint, there is plenty of evidence to bring RICO statutes and show the actual criminal enterprise that has been functioning for the purpose of furthering a criminal act, which is to get Hillary Clinton elected in a false and nefarious way. And I think there's plenty of information out there and evidence to show that they were doing this. And all you have to have is two different crimes committed by the group. It doesn't have to be the whole group doing it together, but people working in a group committing two or more crimes for that specific reason in the furtherance of their criminal enterprise. That's a RICO crime.
Jonathan, what are the crimes? What are the crimes?
How about a conspiracy to influence an election? How about people using the powerful tools of the FBI and the intelligence community as a means of preventing somebody from getting elected?
But what evidence do we have? What evidence do we have that the
I can tell you what evidence we have. I can tell you right now. Peter Strzok and James Comey were writing Hillary's exoneration letter before they ever did the investigation. Does that sound legal to you?
James Comey wrote a letter to Congress on October 11th, which basically
Excuse me. No, in May he was writing the exoneration before her interview on July 4th.
And at the end of the year, FBI...
At the end of the year, they already wrote the exoneration.
You know what? Jim Comey is a guy who has worked across administrations, which is something that
And
Jonathan
James
and I were
Comey leaked
about.
intelligence for private information with the president for the sole purpose of getting a special counsel. Are you going to tell me that these people with their pro-Hillary, anti-Trump bias, that they're planning in their own words, in their own way, a plan B, an insurance policy to make sure the guy that helped exonerate Hillary, you're telling me this doesn't stink to high heaven in your mind? Are you kidding me?
I think that you think that these people have far more power than they actually do. Acting FBI Director Wray gave $39,000 to Republicans. Rachel Brandon, Deputy AG, gave $36,000 to Republicans. Jeff Sessions, a Republican appointee. There are plenty of people at the
Jeff Sessions, excuse me, but not on Mueller's team. There's one donor that did something, and it was not over. Didn't donate to Trump. You have 8 of the 16 donating to Democrats. You got one guy, Andrew Weissman, that put people in jail, but that was overturned. He put tens of thousands of people out of work with a phony obstruction of justice case that was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court 9-0. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned this guy.
The idea that these people
He's held back exculpatory evidence in cases. It's proven.
Look, I understand how you feel, and I understand that you're concerned about these allegations against the president, but there is an OIG investigation right now into this agent and to this lawyer, and I think that's the best thing. So this OIG inspector will get to the bottom of these text messages. We have 375 out of 10,000. If there is wrongdoing here, I stand with you, Sean. Let's get to the bottom of it. But right now, this is just casting aspersions against these people. These people criticize Martin O'Malley, John Kasich, Eric Holder, Bernie Sanders, as well as Trump. They had political opinions. I don't like it. To get to the bottom of it and give them some due process.
Okay. How long does the due process have?
That's a good question. Internal investigations can take months. Both of them are off the Mueller probe. That's appropriate.
What is your answer, Jonathan?
And we have to look at the totality of the circumstances for all these things. And saying that somebody criticizes one candidate or another versus actually carrying out acts to keep another person from being elected, those are totally different. Subversive people criticize and stand out in the open and make it look like they're doing one thing for one person and then they're doing something completely different for another. And I think if we look at the totality of the circumstances and we stop giving, here's one thing we got to stop doing, and I hear this a lot with you, Danielle, and I don't mean to disrespect here. We got to stop giving these people the benefit of a doubt. They should be held to the highest level of scrutiny, because I know men and women that have lost their job in the Bureau for something as ridiculous as $57 on a travel claim that they overestimated, and they were told to overestimate it, lost their job. Another guy who was fired from the Bureau, brought up on 4 felony charges, and then exonerated and given his job back after they tried to ruin his life because he went into our ACS, that's the computer system, to find a former source that was closed so he could get some football tickets. Now, if they're held to that scrutiny, why aren't we holding these people to that scrutiny and forget about this? We should give them this. We should give them that benefit of a doubt. They work for the government. They should be held to the standard. And if they break any of the laws or policies or procedures, they should be held to the highest punishment possible.
Look, I actually agree with you, Jonathan, and I have not worked within the FBI, but I've worked opposite the FBI in internal investigations as a defense attorney, and I hold these guys and women in the highest regard. The same for U.S. attorneys and state assistant attorneys general. I would honestly rather deal with a government attorney than an attorney in private practice because their ethical obligations are just that much higher. All I'm saying is there is an investigation, and we need to get to the end of the investigation. Sure, I know.
But Danielle, you didn't deal with.
I believe in the process.
Let me just say this though: you didn't deal with in your court cases. You didn't deal with the highest echelon. Those aren't the people that are in court. You dealt with ground pounders, the people at the highest top of the administration in the DOJ and the FBI. Those people got there because they did what they needed to do to get there, and that is not good cases. The majority of these people are not heroes from the court system. These are people that climbed the ladder and said what they had to say, kissed the right behinds, and they got in a position of authority. That is the problem, is that there's a sickness, a cancer in all these agencies, that these are the people that get to the top. They're not the ones that you're talking about, and they cannot be trusted. We should not trust them.
All right, I got to take a break right there. We'll come. No, not trust them. We now have enough evidence to show that this team is abusively biased and corrupt at a profound level. It's unbelievable. I can't believe this is the United States of America and this is our justice system. It's unreal. And you add Sarah Carter's big breaking developments on unmasking and surveillance. It's disgusting. All right, as we continue, Jonathan Gillum and Danielle McLaughlin are with us. 800-941-SEAN, our toll-free telephone number. You know, remember back in September, you had a Boston elementary school librarian rejected Melania Trump and her donation of Dr. Seuss books because the librarian claimed that they were racist? You know, I mean, you can't make this stuff up either. Now, another Boston so-called pseudo-academic is now saying, and by the way, this time from Boston University, wants people to stop singing Jingle Bells during the Christmas season because Jingle Bells is racist. The history of the song has remained hidden behind its local and season affection. He said,
crazy.
She continued saying that the song's, quote, blackface racist origins have been subtly, systematically removed from its history, and that the song has a secret racist past. All right, Danielle, I'll let you tackle that.
You know what? I think even as a liberal, sometimes liberals get a bit crazy. And we can explore this intellectually, but the idea that we should stop singing Jingle Bells is utterly ridiculous to me. There are plenty of things that we live and we talk about and we sing in our daily lives that have historic, things in their history that are problematic, just because our history itself is problematic. But I think this is a bridge too far, and I just think that, my 3-year-old loves the song. We can think about it intellectually, but this ridiculous PC-ness is going to kill us.
Jonathan?
Sean, first of all, I love Danielle's accent. She makes me sound dumb than I am when she speaks.
Never.
No, don't say that to her, because forget it. You're insulting her. I can't let you do that. It's
no,
Christmas
I'm
season.
giving her a compliment. I'm
Oh my gosh.
I'm from the South, But listen, here's the deal. What happened to the day and age when somebody would say something like that, and we would just say that's an idiot, and we just move on? Why do we give these people press? The news will write up stories on this, and I don't know what's more unbelievable, the fact that somebody would do this or the fact that people rally around them. And, Sean, I was on your show last week or earlier this week. We're talking about my book, Sheep No More. And then I go on, and Media Matters and these other groups, they do this. They bring up this nonsense, and they try to get people rallied up. But when you look at the comments below those sections, it is.
Why do you even read that stuff? Let me guess. They took your words totally out of context, and they twisted it into a pretzel.
I read it because I'm trying to grasp the mindset of these leftists, and I can't get it. You can't grasp
the mindset of people that have an ideology and a political agenda, and that agenda is to use any means necessary to silence the voices they disagree with. They're the biggest, anti-free speech, pro-censorship group in the country. I mean, and this is what I deal with every time they totally, purposely take words out of context all the time.
The vitriol that I see when you say something great is unbelievable. But here's what I've noticed about all this, and I think this is where we can stand, and I think this conversation with Danielle proves that is, if we all unite against this nonsense, we stand against them. They're very united in the way that they spit out this nonsense. That's the only thing they have going for them. But it's so ridiculous that it's laughable. And I think the more you ignore them, they go away.
I got to leave it there. Merry Christmas to both of you, and we'll let Danielle sing Jingle Bells tomorrow.
I can't sing it now. I'm all teed up and ready to go.
We'll save that for tomorrow, all right? 800-941-SEAN. When we come back, wide open telephones. We got an incredible Hannity tonight, 9 Eastern on the Fox News Channel. Hope you'll join us. Quick break, right back. We'll continue. That's your own New Yorker voice, la-la-lying over there. Hey, Miss Christmas Sunshine, I got a question for you. So, you actually did this song and wrote this song and produced this song at a time when you absolutely hated people. You had a hate list back then in the day.
And lucky for you, that hate list is now dispersed.
But that nobody had a hate list like this and fa-la-la-la-la like that. That just doesn't happen.
That is one of the crafts of being in the trade of artistry. You need to fake it till you make it. So
she's a woman. What? She can multitask.
All right, can we stop with the blood sisterhood over here? And for people that missed the day we did a Facebook live show, that was the day that Lauren got engaged to Linda's brother. And they were dating behind Linda's back for a while, never told her. And I knew before she did, which is like a rarity around this building.
And I'll never hear the end of it.
No, it's not a matter of hearing the end of it. I mean, do we know when the wedding date is?
It's to be determined.
Do we have a bout?
She's still considering if she really wants to become a McLaughlin. It's a big decision, very big.
Oh, so you may dump him?
To logistics.
Just logistics. Let me guess. You're getting married in New Jersey. I'm just guessing. Potentially.
Potentially the city of brotherly love.
Oh, really? Maybe. Really?
Or your backyard.
You can have if you do it in my backyard, I'll save a lot of.
I thought we'd do it here on set. I thought it'd be so.
Yeah, you want to do it on? We can do an on-air wedding.
And you could
No. And we could do it like the
you
Today
could
Show does.
officiate.
Yeah, I'll officiate. And we could do it like the Today Show does. You know, the Today Show, they end
We
up.
don't watch fake news.
All right.
Yeah, sorry. I have no idea what
All
you're
right.
talking
Back
about.
in the day when I watched fake news, they would have these couples that they'd walk through the process, picking out the dress. You can let the audience make the final decision on everything. The dress, where we're going to have the wedding, whether you should get married, whether you should dump him.
She already picked her dress. It's the American flag crafted
It's
with
not
lace.
the American flag.
beautiful.
Seriously?
You remember that Joyce Villa dress? She wore like the big Trump
Yeah,
flag.
I remember.
Pretty much, I'm channeling that.
We'll make a MAGA dress, we'll call it. And why not let the audience help
No,
make...
it's got a long veil.
Can
and
I finish
on the
my
veil,
thought?
There's like a train, and all on the train is
Can
like
I finish my thought?
mega.
My thought is this. Let's let the audience decide what dress she wears.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because the dress is a very personal thing, and if you haven't
Well,
noticed,
we'll
she's
give them-
very fashion forward.
We'll give them options that she could live with. How's that? Well, as a matter, how about we'll have a
Those pictures are forever, my friend. You're not.
We'll
living
have a
with it. You're
Jason
staring at
option.
it.
We'll have an Ethan option. We'll have a Hannity option.
Okay, so Jason's is going to be bedazzled. Ethan's is going to have a sledgehammer. Mine's going to have, I don't know, something New York, maybe something coffee stained.
Oh my gosh, what's mine gonna be?
I don't know, black. Because that's all you wear is black, so it'll be a black dress.
You know what I like about wearing black shirts? I don't have to think. I get up in the morning, I put on a black shirt and jeans. It's a piece of
Channel
cake.
your inner Johnny Cash. It's very
It's
important.
not inner Johnny Cash. And somebody told me that, it looks like you wear the same shirt every day. I'm like, if I wore the same shirt every day,
we would all know.
You would all know. It gets cleaned, and I have like 10 versions of it.
That's right. You're very, it's a lot of variety going on there.
Well, I had an intervention a few years ago, and nobody's really noticing yet. So the intervention was my family threw them out. Isn't that
I like the black.
Thank you. But every day is too much.
No. It's dark times.
It's dark times. Well, they're getting brighter.
Well, it's also a very slimming color, so.
Sir, this is a week out of bonus week,
If
and you're
we had a whiplash
week
sound.
out of bonus week, and you're starting in already.
You look like a lean,
by the way,
mean
bonus
fighting machine. You look
bonuses
good.
don't have to come.
Ninjas do wear black, so it is appropriate.
Right. But back to Sunshine in the corner back there, JC Owen. Bonuses aren't mandated. I don't have to give bonuses. And you didn't wait a day this year. The day after you got your bonus, you're attacking me.
Stop whining. I mean, geez, I just made a simple little quip that you're a little chunky, that's all.
First of all, I have to come to Sean's defense. He's not chunky anymore.
not
We
chunky.
all know he's skinny.
It's muscle.
He's
Filled with cream
manorexic.
filling.
He
I'm
is
not
manorexic.
I am not manorexic.
You are manorexic.
Just because I'm on Nutrisystem doesn't mean
You
I'm
are manorexic. Just own it
It's
and
not
move on.
working anymore. It stopped working. I'm
It's
frustrated.
totally working. You're so thin.
No, I'm telling
You
you.
have nothing left to lose.
You're
That's the
falling
problem.
away to nothing.
Yeah, right. But that's because you're heavier than I am, so you want to feel better about yourself by telling me I've gotten skinnier.
He's the
I'm
brawny
very,
man.
very happy with myself and my pizza and my heroes when I see you eating gross stuff.
Let's go to big time AJ, Houston, Texas. What's up, Santa Claus? How are you?
Big time Sean Hannity.
What's going on, baby?
Quick,
Yeah.
Real quick. Merry Christmas to all of you guys there. And Linda, thanks for that last, first of all. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it when she say that. I just love it.
You hang out long enough with her, you're going to be saying it the exact same way.
I love the way she says it, Sean. It's just, I'm going to make me a T-shirt up. I'm going to make me a T-shirt.
And what's it going to say?
If it's okay.
First of all. But you got to spell it out in New York fashion.
Exactly. You know how I am with my words. You know I use them crazy words. So that is perfect.
Listen, I want to say Merry Christmas to you. I want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. You're one of our greatest callers of all time. You're just such a great human being, and we love you, AJ.
Back at you, Big Sean, and the hard work you do, and all your girls there, and all the staff, Jason, everybody. Y'all are the best. Don't let nobody tell y'all no different. Hey,
Thank
now
you.
To the idiots.
They know who they are. Yes, go ahead.
You already know. And I ain't going to go off because Trump is in there and our economy doing good. I'm telling the Republican establishment to get your crap together because we not blaming Donald Trump. We see what my man doing. We see what Trump doing, but we also seeing what y'all not doing. You're lying to us, and we put y'all there for a reason to do a job. You failed us on Obamacare. And dagnabbit, 2018, hey, we going to put somebody in there that want to do the job. If y'all don't want to do the job, get out of there. Don't waste our time and don't waste our money. And that's enough for them idiots right there, big time, Sean.
Well,
But
we
Sean,
appreciate it. Thank you. AJ, we love you. Merry Christmas, my friend. We'll talk soon.
very much. Merry Christmas, guys.
All right. Ho, ho, ho. La, 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 fa, la, la. Don in Lake Ronkonkoma, the all-new AM 710 WOR. What's up, Don? How are you, my friend? Welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you, Sean. I just want to. I know the Christmas season's coming up for you, and you usually take some time off. And I want to ask you how you're going to relax, because I know for a fact you don't know how to relax. You're going to be up at 5:30. You're going to be checking the news. You're going to be checking the wires. You're not going to.
It's very hard. I'm not good at it. I'm not going to lie to everybody. I am not good at it, and I'm really going to try this year to be on. I'm like focusing on that. I'm only going to look at my phone like twice a day. I'm going to try and set that rule. I'm going to try not to text all my friends. But you want to know what I do? This is my routine. You really want to hear it?
Yep.
All right. I get up early, as you said, and I stay up late, and I get up early. And what I try to do, I'm not a golfer, but I usually play golf a couple of times on vacation. And I like to be the first one out because I can't stand waiting while some guy, stands over a putt for 400 hours thinking it's the U.S. Open. Drives me nuts.
Me too.
And if I hit the ball out of bounds, I drop another ball. Hit that out of bounds, I'll drop another one. I don't care. And then so I do that. Then I usually come home. I'll do my training while I'm gone. I'm going to probably hit the bag and do my core work that I do every day. Then everybody likes to hang out at the beach. I hate the beach, so I'll go say hello, see if my son wants to play beach football. I'm the quarterback, and if he does, I'll play football. If not, then I'll go for a bike ride. Then I take a nap, and then I stuff my face, go home, and watch Netflix. That's what I'm going to do. That's it. That's my whole vacation.
Well, just two things, Sean. I want to let Lauren pick out her own dress.
Oh, and I'll go fishing. We have our big fishing trips that we go on. Go ahead.
Oh, great. Post pictures of that. But I want to thank you, too, for another incredible talk radio year. You give us news, and the mainstream media just refuses to give us, and I wanted to thank you again for that.
Don, I can't do it without you, all of you. You know, there were at least, 5 separate attacks this year to get me fired.
Yeah.
And every single time, the only reason I'm still here is because of all of you in this audience and our great advertisers that cannot and will not be intimidated. If I do something wrong, I'll admit it, but they want to silence our voices. They can't stand it.
You should see the heat I get on Twitter defending you and your work. But
you can't read.
I love
Don, you're gonna get in a rubber room if you keep reading that crap. Trust me.
I know, but I can take the punches. I'm used to it.
Well, that's one thing. I don't mind taking the punches. There's nothing that hasn't been said about me over the years that, isn't going to be said 1,000 times more. I don't care. I don't have that switch anymore that it matters to me what liberals and other people think of me. I care about my audience. I care about the truth. I care about my country, family, God. And it's pretty simple in my life at this point.
Well, God bless you, my friend.
All right. God bless you. Have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas to your whole family. 800-941-SEAN. You want to be a part of the program. Pam is in Hampton, Virginia. What's up, Pam? How are you? Merry Christmas.
Hi, dear. I am.
And happy Hanukkah. It's Hanukkah right now.
Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, and best of the 2018 to you.
You too.
I just have a quick question. I am like the average person, and I am sick to death of the Mueller, the Comey, the Pelosi, the Waters, and there doesn't seem to be an answer. It just goes round and round and round and round. And as an average person, there doesn't seem to be anything that we can control or we can do to help. The only voice we have is you. And it helps tremendously knowing that you're out there. But is there anything else?
I can tell you, the wheels of justice you've heard, and I hate cliches.
I know.
They move slowly. There's more that I know that I'm not telling that I know is coming. And this is not a tease. This is not me, saying it for the sake of saying it. I know these things are coming. I know them. So you're just going to have to stay with us and understand this is like unpeeling layers of an onion. There's a million layers in there, but we're going to peel the onion, and we're going to get to the root of all of this. And I will tell you that where this is headed, this is going to go down as worse than Watergate in this country by a long shot. And I know the media won't get there. And even when we get there, they'll say, oops, missed it. And then they'll move on to their next Trump hating obsession, whatever it happens to be. But there are layers to this story, and these stories, plural, that are deep and profound and corrupt and dishonest and very, very chilling if you believe in our constitutional republic. And frankly, I feel it's, this is what now my mission is and my job is to get to the truth and do the job they won't do. I'm honored to have it. I'm honored to be standing with every one of my irredeemable, deplorable friends that cling to their God, guns, Bibles, and religion. Now, I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be that former construction work hack that Alec Baldwin once called me. And so I promise you, when it collapses, it's going to be a dramatic collapse. Very dramatic. But it's going to happen.
Good. We trust you. We trust you implicitly. We trust Trump. We are thankful for you guys.
Well, I'm thankful for you. I can't do the show. You guys keep me on the air. If I don't have audience rate, if I don't have advertisers, I'm not on the air. That's why so many are trying so hard to silence my voice, but really they're trying to silence all our voices. This isn't about one person or me. I gave a speech. I was very honored I got this Impact Award. I won't tell you everybody was there. It was full of wonderful people. And I was one of many honorees that night, that day. And I said something. I said, listen, every one of us has a solemn duty and honor that we're all a spoke in a wheel. And you need every spoke in the wheel to make the wheel go round. And if you're missing a spoke, you can only miss so many spokes and it doesn't go around anymore. And for those of us that know truth, that love this country, we have an obligation to fight for it and get things right. And, that's what, it's so funny. People don't understand me in the left-wing media. I try to say that to the New York Times guy again and again. You guys in the media don't understand what motivates me. I'm not talking about Americans in poverty and out of food stamps and out of the labor force and can't buy their first home just to hear myself talk, or debt to hear myself talk. I'm doing it because we're on the wrong path. And for those of us that know, it's our obligation to fight to get us on the right path so that, other dishwashers like I was in my life, can see their dreams come true. I've had my dreams come true. Anyway, 800. But now it's a matter of we got an obligation here. These are rough times, man. I'm telling you, it's not a game for these people. They want to destroy this president. It's an obsession of theirs. All right, we got major breaking news tonight, as Sarah Carter just was trying to explain earlier in the program today. You don't want to miss that. Also, we have the special treatment, the text messages revealed, the media bias on the Mueller probe, and Mueller's conflicts of interest. You're not going to hear about this anywhere. Tom Fitton and his discovery of the special deal with the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton to hide things. Newt Gingrich joins us tonight. He'll be on the program. Also, we'll talk about Mueller's partisan witch hunt with Dan Bongino, Geraldo, and Jessica Tarlow. That's all tonight, and that's coming up at 9 Eastern on the Fox News Channel. Thanks for being with us. See you back here tomorrow, and see you tonight on TV.